Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Aeon Trespass Odyssey. I am Emerging Boat, and we are on day 42 of Cycle 3, and we're going to get into more story today. There's a lot to catch up on from what happened during the last section of adventuring that I did, where I wasn't recording. I mentioned this in a couple of the battle videos, but there were some things that I ended up just saying okay, some of these things I'm just going to take notes on and I will fill everybody in once we get back to resuming the recorded part of the adventure. But other things I was like, I'm just going to push this off a couple of days so that way we can just do a bunch of story catch up at the beginning of this video and then kind of go through everything. We should be able to close out story card 2A hopefully in this video as well. But I will get to that as I go through my little bit of recap from the last in-game week. So let me dim down the light so you can see a better view of the map. I think we need to turn off this one. That one, no. And that's too dark. Yeah, I think that was the right one to turn off. And actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to clear off some of this the present day map because I don't know if we'll need it right now. 1 minute. All right, that's a bit better. So I will go over some of the notes that I took about the last adventuring week. Then we'll go through, do the rest of the stuff for day 42. And then we will jump into all of the story things that we have pushed into day 42 in the story phase. Let's go to this map view so you can take a look at the map while I'm talking through this. All right, let's see. On day 38, we did Inwards Odyssey 43. We saw a vision of the past where Daedalus was building the sun towers for the priests to honor Helios, but the priests suspected him of having ulterior motives. We saw a beam of light strike one of the priests, utterly burning his skin and possessing him to be an intermediary of the sun god himself. Helios was described as sounding like a father and child simultaneously, and instructed the remaining priest to let Daedalus finish, and that the inventor will be punished for whatever he is plotting. We did Inwards Odyssey 44 as well, or at least we unlocked it, and that was the one where we unlocked the Artemis god form. We used that god form in the, and in the Dahaka fight. So I actually haven't read the real passage for Inwards Odyssey 44 yet, so we're going to get into that as part of this story step. And then also on day 38, we had Dastan retire, but we have already seen that Dastan has been retired for a couple of battles now because Dastan has been replaced by Penelope. I didn't want 2 Argonauts to retire while we were off in that one voyage section, so I pushed one of the retirements, or potential retirements I should say, off to this video. Let's see, day 38, that was everything on day 38. Then on day 39, we did Inwards Odyssey 45. And in this one, we were transported to the past and we see the grandeur of the times of old. But we also see how religion dominated and severe punishment awaited anybody who chose to sin against the gods. We saw some people who were basically tied up and forced to sit in these makeshift thrones where these magnifying glasses focused beams of light on these people throughout the day and just slowly killed them and burned them. We rescued a few of the people who were chained to these types of thrones and brought them back to the Argo with us, rescuing them from the past and bringing them to a different time. We had told them that we will take you to a time where the gods are dead. And they responded saying, "Oh, it must be paradise there." And we were just like, no comment. Some things may be better, some things may be worse, but definitely different times. That was day 39. Then in day 40, we did the Alpha Adventure Hub for the Of Wax and Promises Adventure, the Alpha Adventure of the Of Wax and Promises Adventure Hub, where we met Vedas, a Twilight Watch member who is building a ship of some sort. An Aster, supposedly built by the Hyperboreans by the dozens and requires machina from Daedalus to work properly. The ship is designed to fly with the goal of reaching the sun's domain. We also meet Axiothea again, the Twilight Watch guard who led us to the Sun-Air prisoner Therisandros. Sun-Airs arrive in the cave where the ship is being built, demanding that Vetus halt the work, but we support Vetus building the Astereem. There was also a man in the cave referred to as the Silent Hermit, always watching, never speaking, and the old priest warned us to be on our guard. So we're basically seeing this Twilight Watch member who is trying to do what Icarus did not, and build this ship that could travel into the sun's domain. And a little bit ominous with what the old priest was saying about the guard. I mean, the Silent Hermit. We don't really know what the Silent Hermit's deal is, but the old priest seemed to recognize the idea of him. And then along with those events that happened, we did complete 2 of our 3 things that we need to change in the past. So these are the ones that are marked with the lightning charge here. And then I marked another one with, this is the one that I think we're going to end up doing as we sail south from where we're at now. But these are the 2 events that we completed. Let me make sure this text is readable. It kind of depends on where in the frame it is there. But for this Infiltrate the Expedition event, we replaced the Delphian Oracle that was meant to guide Icarus' ship with somebody from the Argos crew, somebody who will have potentially more confidence in guiding the ship to a successful mission. And then for this Design a Maze Stone solution, we suggested that Icarus replace parts of the Siren Shell core that were intended to contain the paracausal energies of its central machina. We advised him to replace these with maze flesh from the Temenos. So those are the 2 events that we completed. We still need to do a 3rd one here before we can progress. But in order to do that, I think we can go to tile 37 to complete this. Right now we are on tile 39, so 37 should be here. So we should be pretty close to being able to get past story 2A. I already extended the time loop of the current loop by 1 day with some frozen time. And we may need to do it again. I got backtracked not a couple of times. I got backtracked at one point with, one of the exploration cards. But we ended up finding some more frozen time, so we are full up on that right now. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get into where we're at right now. We just wrapped up basically 2 fights. They were relatively back-to-back, even in my time. We defeated the Dahaka, and then we defeated the Icarian Harpy. The Harpy fight was closer than I would have liked. I did end up killing off the Warkeeper and Firestarter Titans that we lost in that. So we are really spoiling ourselves with how many Pygmalion stones we have. We have 9 stones right now. I've also been trying to be good about using Doom to using Argofate to reduce the Doom that we're gaining. So I've gained a lot of Argofate over the last few days, but between those battles that we did, along with using a technology to remove some of our Argofate while we were on the city tile, I think, I've been able to keep both the Argofate and the Doom gain relatively under control. And while I'm looking at the screen, I think I need to actually add another Inwards Odyssey event to our timeline here, because I did not do that before. We need to add IO47. These are not the order that I'm going to be doing these things in. Yeah, we'll get there. All right, then the other thing I wanted to note is that we do have the Dahaka back on the map with us. So he's right here. We spawned him during the last fight when we were fighting the Icarian Harpy. We had the Truthbearer roll a crit miss, so unfortunately that put the Dahaka back on the map with us. Hopefully we can keep him fended off for a little while, but we can also use him as a relief valve for getting rid of Argofate when we need that. So let's move on with our actual things that we need to get done today, which are going to be some technology researches, and then also I made a note that I need to add a table to Skyseer. Yeah, I need to add a trauma table on there because her default trauma table sucks. So let's do these technology researches first. I took a look at these ahead of time, so I already know which ones I'm going to grab. Argo Timeline Security is one that I want to get mostly because of the technology that it leads to, because I think I remember what quantum propylon is, although I could be wrong. So let's go ahead and grab that and then pull it up here. This is the one that I was hoping for. Okay, this basically allows us to have a Argo ability, what's it called, on deck for us. So we start off with 4, but we can have a backup 1, and then we can pull that backup 1 into the fight if we need it. It's pretty nice to have. So we will be able to research that at some point in the near future, hopefully. And then for our combat research here, I do really want to get this Helios Fanatics light weapons, but I'm going to go with the Icarian Harpy Autopsy first, mainly because this gives us access to our next Cycle 3 Titan, the Ascender, who, not my favorite Titan, but I like having as many Titans available to us as possible. So we are going to grab this technology, the Icarian Harpy Autopsy, and we will have another combat research before our next timeline battle, at least. So let's go ahead and grab this one now. I'm not going to spend much time, or really any time right now, talking about the armors that we unlocked with that. What I am going to do is go into cargo here. Actually, I'm going to do 2 things. First, I'm going to lose an Icarian Harpy core. We have a bunch of those. And then I'm going to go back into Cycle 2 and lose a Chimera core. I'm just doing some cleanup here as I want to get some of these Titans. Wait, go back to Argo. Titan, we're going to lose 2 of our Dreamwalker Titans here. Dead. I really could just swap the class of them, but all right, let's add a new Titan, change this one to an Ascender, which is a new Titan that we just unlocked. And then I also wanted to get another Fire Starter Titan back using one of those cores. Cool. Okay. So let's take a look at our Ascender sheet really quickly. Throw this down here. The Ascender has a red power die, auto break 1, 5 movement, has this ability called Surpass, which is, I don't think I have ever used this ability. If you have 5 or more rage, and if your weapon gear doesn't already have the assist X keyword, it gains assist 1. I rarely ever use assist in the first place. I do not need it on my Titan sheet. I would love to know if that is something that I'm undervaluing, but honestly, this is meaningless to me. Let's go to some of the more interesting things over here. So we're going to come back to the survive ability, but let's go to the ascend ability first. Each time you survive a trauma draw, place 1 generic token on your Titan sheet. You gain the following stacking benefits depending on the number of generic Titans that are here. So it's, I have rarely gotten that high on this. Like, it's pretty hard to survive, 4 or more trauma draws, 5 or more trauma draws. But you get even 1 or 2 surviving, you're getting +1 precision, +1 movement. You can maybe even get all the way up to auto break 1. I like the mechanic. It's a bit hard, I think, to try to get very high up in that mechanic. I'm curious if people have actually built around this successfully. I haven't really spent that much time trying to make Ascender into like a great Titan. He's just someone that I like to use every once in a while just because I like this kind of mechanic. And we might see that on more Titans in the later cycles as well. But even if you're not getting a lot of tokens on him, you do have this ability called Survive, which says that when you would die from an instant death effect, you may discard all generic tokens from your Titan sheet, at least 1 to perform an obol draw instead. So he does have a handy ability in his back pocket to basically say, like, I'm going to try to avoid the instant death effect things, which that can be pretty useful. He's got a good trauma table as well. I think it's similar, if not the same. No, it's actually slightly better than Fire Starters. It's similar to Fire Starters, but the difference is that the Ascender doesn't start drawing obols until 11 danger or more. But maybe one of the things that I like to use the most with the Ascender is the fact that he gets Elation at Rage 1. That can be a really powerful ability. even if you're not using it as much in the cycles, like I found when I was doing Menestus Theater after cycle 3, like before the cycles 4 and 5 came out, and I was doing a lot of Menestus Theater after cycle 3, I used the Ascender a fair amount just for being able to use the Elation 1 from that Kratos table ability. So, and then we also have the mini here. One of my actual painted minis. So pretty cool. Again, not the most like amazing Titan, but it's a fun Titan to have in the arsenal. And I just generally like having access to a lot of Titans. Let's go back to, let's do this view. Oh, and then I wanted to get some kind of training, some kind of trauma table onto our, what's it called? Sky Seer. And we can't do, yeah, Shadow Dancer is training right now, so we can't do training or conditioning cards. We would have to do strain type patterns. And I think I'm going to do Umbral Strain. Umbral Strain is a pretty great one. And I do like having a Sky Seer, and I'm likely to be using Pygmalion Stones on a Sky Seer anyway, so let's put one of our nice trauma tables on her. And that's the one where we can get Ambrosia Limit 5. So I think I need to gain an Argo Fate for this, if I remember correctly. I'm looking at the actual physical cards right now. Yeah, gain 1 Argo Fate. Note the Titan on the timeline 7 days from now. And note it with the word strain. Okay. 7 days from now is going to be day 49. We will say Sky Seer strain / grafting. And what was the one that I said? Umbral Strain. Okay. Cool. Let's go through the notes here that I have. Daedalus, Arc Artificery, Exploration card resets. Okay, noted. That's good. Then we have a few Inwards Odysseys. Then, all right, I'm just going to delete that one because that one was just kind of a reminder for me. Let's do M024 first, and then we'll do the Inward Odysseys. And M024 is the Nemos breakthrough that we have for Dastan. No, I'm sorry, not Dastan. Dastan's already gone. For Leocules, who is about to do the last breakthrough on Spewed by the Abyss. Let's go to this view. I think I forgot to do this the last time I had an Argonaut retire. Or no, not even retire. I think it was when Otis Zero was about to retire. I forgot to do all 3 breakthroughs for him. So I'm going to do that for Leocules. I don't know if you all have a preference on whether I do this or not, but let's see. We'll start at 004, then 14, then 24. And these are all for cycle 2. Put this a little bit more in the center here. And we'll go to Nemesis breakthroughs C2 004.
The dream is more vivid now. The building trembles around you. A terrible quivering that cuts through to your very core. A barrage of noise assaults you, shattering pottery and glass, splintering wood, and fracturing stone. The sky is ablaze, as if a terrible maw of purple and white flames engulfs the heavens, rolling scarlet and black clouds churning and twisting onto themselves. Dust and ash fill the air, rising to join the cacophony of screams of the dying citizens of a doomed polis, your friends and neighbors among them. The ground shudders under you once more, myriad fractures appearing at your feet. Strange, oily black fluid wells up from under the ravaged streets, flowing in swift streams as it releases noxious gases into the atmosphere. You feel a terrible presence assail you, its corrupting talons digging deep into your soul. You run. You have no idea where you are going, or even if there is a safe haven to be found. But it matters not. Animal instinct has taken over, and it tells you that standing still means death. It means being devoured by that soul-crushing presence. As you move, thought and awareness blur, vanishing into a single stream of consciousness fixated on only one need: to survive. You run and do not stop. When cogent thought finally returns to you, it is on the deck of a small fishing sloop rapidly making its way south. Behind you, the skies twist with ominous energies, a swirling maelstrom of blacks, purples, reds, and flickering white lightning. The eschaton, the crew of the ship are calling it. The end of the world, and you were pulled from the heart of it. Some commend your fortune, but you find it hard to see things that way. All you can think about is the horror you have seen, the flames, the devastation, the chaos. The people you have left. The people you could have saved. And the thing that came for you. Maybe you deserved to be devoured, the coward that you are. It burns in your mind's eye like a beacon that will not fade.
Then we would jump over to M014.
The memory is more vivid now. An ear-splitting crash thunders around you, its power striking you physically like a hammer to your skull and a fist to your gut. The mountain that looms over your home shudders, seeming to swell upward, then fractures, vomiting forth torrents of black debris and glowing hot magma as its sides split, the peak peeling open like a flower in bloom. Dark shapes rise from the chaos, tracing arcs upward before tumbling back to the ground, growing rapidly in size until you realize that what is raining down on the city is no small detritus, but rather boulders the size of houses. The thundering of the cataclysmic hail echoes around you. Entire homes, whole districts erased in a moment. Your family, your friends, your neighbors, everyone who wasn't as fast as you, as cowardly as you. From beneath the rumble, the thing emerges, black as nothingness. Its claws dig deep into your soul. You feel corruption filling you. You know you deserve it, but your body, your stupid body, wants to live so badly. It forces you to move, forces you to run. You scream in anguish but do not stop, even as your whole world crumbles around you. What's got into you? The words snap you back to the here and now. You almost got yourself killed in a bar fight, one you instigated again. A death wish. Your head spins. You are forced to clench your fist tight, fighting the urge to swing at the one who stopped you. Your beloved, the one who helped you piece your life together after the eschaton. Around you, your friends have grown silent. They want to reach out, but you withdraw even further. You shudder in fear of the vision of that monstrous thing. They do not understand. You are not worthy of their love or sympathy, only their condemnation. I'm cursed, you mutter,
And you are cursed by my presence.
You can see the concerned, doubting looks of your spouse and your comrades and feel shame rise within you. Shame at being so weak that you ran instead of dying like the rest of your loved ones. And shame for showing your weakness again, here, now.
Then lastly, we will see M024.
The truth, you can almost grasp it now. The weight of the debris on top of you is immense, pinning you in place. Nearby, the flames are creeping closer, their heat unbearable. The crackling, sputtering as they dance on the surface of the oily fluid, so very loud in your ears. You struggle, but it is like your muscles do not want to respond to your commands. So utterly are you held in place. The monstrous thing comes again, rending soul from flesh, corrupting you irreversibly, cursing you to a life of fear and sin and weakness. Feeling panic surge within you, you heave against the crushing weight, but a tide of debris shifts, burying you deeper. The rubble is now bodies, their heads turning toward you in accusation. Their faces, these are the faces of the loved ones who died when you lived. You try to scream out, but your voice is smothered by the cacophony of the cataclysm. You wake in a sweat, thrashing against the sheets that twist and tangle around you. It is only when your spouse grabs and holds you tightly, whispering your name, that the nightmare's spell is broken.
I'm sorry,
You say,
I can't. I brought the Eschaton curse with me. It corrupts me and everyone around me.
now it all spills out.
I should have been brave and died with the rest of the polis, but I ran like a plague-ridden rat. I will bring doom on you. I need to...
Love, they murmur, putting a hand on your burning cheek.
You are not cursed.
They embrace you more tightly.
Your gashes and burns have healed, but your soul did not. You are not allowing it to heal. You don't understand.
You say,
The thing, the monster, it follows me. It corrupts me. I ran. I don't deserve. What can't you forgive yourself?
you snap right back to that moment. The moment when you crawled out of that heap of debris. The thing is right behind you, looming over you. You finally have the courage to meet its gaze. And the thing is all the people you left behind. Your parents, in their small house on the southern ridge. It's your first partner, on their way from the Agora, with your daughter. It's your brother, smashed into a pulp by the falling roof, right beside you, in your workshop. It's the small child who got trapped in the debris heap alongside you, but suffocated because you didn't notice them. So preoccupied were you with your own survival.
Because I survived.
You whisper, tears running down your cheeks. Your beloved embraces you, and you hold on tightly.
You deserve to live, and you deserve to be happy.
Sorry, had to pause for a second. Sometimes these Nemos resolutions really strike a chord with me. The only choice. There was never a curse or an Eschaton-born demon. Only guilt. Surviving is no sin. This trauma, this pain will not dominate your life. You must accept the scars of your experience to move on, but you will not be ruled by this forever and can grow in spite of or even because of it. Part of that journey involves finding your own life, free of the Argo. Mark C12, gain 1 Argo knowledge and retire your Argonaut, then activate a new one. Okay, so let's jump over to this. Choice matrix. C12. Leocules. Leocules left the Argo to find his own life and come to terms with the guilt he faces from surviving the eschaton. Then we'll gain an Argo knowledge, and we're gonna have, I'm just gonna tack this on to all the Argo, or all the inward Odysseys that we're gonna be reading today. This is gonna be IO48. Spewed by the Abyss comes out. Leocules is retired. Death Follows goes back into our Nemos vault. Hopefully we'll be able to draw that one again. And let me also mark Leocules as retired here. Let's see, retired. Okay. Then in Leocules' place, we have Aster, who was awakened from the Argonaut mausoleum. Her backstory says, every time Aster closes her eyes, she can see it. A city of gold and glass, stretching ever upwards. Everything you could wish for, within reach of your fingertips if you could afford it. For those born into the shadows below, there is no such paradise, just toil and privation. Deep within, she's known this life of struggle, understands it, and yet now she's an Argonaut, living atop the mighty city ship. To some, it would seem like she's made it, climbed out of that old black pit. Hasn't she? Welcome aboard, Aster. Excited to have you. You are the Red Power Ranger now. Just like my first thought when I'm like assigning the colors to them, it's like, oh, you're basically just a Power Ranger. All right, and then we will shuffle all the Nemoses in our, what's it called? Nemos Vault, and draw 2 of them. This is my house rule that I like to do, where we draw 2 Nemoses and pick from them as opposed to just randomly grabbing one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that is our first option. And 3, 2, 1. Oh boy, we have Death Follows. Part of me is like, well, I don't want to just keep, using Death Follows. It's so good, but like, we have to let it go eventually. But also, I don't want to just pass up this opportunity. Like, yes, we're drawing 2 Nemoses, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other Nemoses in our Nemos Vault. If I don't grab it now, I don't know when I'll be seeing it again. Plus, we have a bunch of alpha hubs that we can do. Yeah, screw it. I'm taking Death Follows. Aster, you have inherited the Death Follows seat, it seems. Left 4 Dead will go back into our Nemos Vault. This one comes out here. And we only have 4 unused portraits in our stack of Argonaut portraits so far. So it won't be very long before we're starting to recycle some of those pictures and we're going to see some familiar faces. Oh, yeah, I need to... You no longer have a Faded Nemos. Drop that, and then I need to erase the bonuses that are on this sheet. Okay. Now we are about to get into a slew of inwards Odyssey readings. I keep saying inwards. It's plural, but it's not. Just inward Odyssey readings. Oops, sorry, not showing this right screen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 that we're going to read. I am actually going to take a break because I am going to, it's getting kind of late here, so I might pick this up tomorrow morning before work, but I think I'm going to call it for the night, so I will be back shortly. Good morning, I'm here. Let's start knocking out a few of these Inward Odysseys. Let's go to the voiceover screen here, go back, Inward Odyssey, and we're starting off with, all right, so we're going to do 44 through 47.
That was exhilarating. An awakening always is. The power flowing through you at that moment is inconceivable and seemingly limitless. But it's not what sticks with you afterward. It's the feeling of wholeness, togetherness, and love that endures. For those precious few dozen seconds, you feel everything is right with the world. You are cared for, coddled. It's like a drug. After the battle is over and the high subsides, you feel empty and alone, and so desperately want to experience that grace again. You've learned to suppress the craving, as you feel there is a darker edge to it. But this Artemis awakening, it came suddenly, and left you with more than an emotional crush. It etched a memory of a hunt. Several massive hunched figures pass through the streets of a foreign-looking metropolis. Their lean bodies and grayish skin betray them as Hyperboreans, the lithe giants of a pre-mortal Delphi. Rain gives them cover from prying eyes. They round a corner and then, after checking they were not followed, enter an unassuming building. A gymnasium, perhaps. Inside, they move quickly through a maze of corridors to a large hall beneath the central palaestra. There, a female figure awaits them, a giant that dwarfs even them.
I bear grim news, teacher. The schism is all but reality. The church sees the dream of flight as blasphemy. And the young are so susceptible to the honeyed words of the priests, especially in times of trouble. All work has been suspended. The Order of the Oracles is being reorganized. Violence breaks out in the streets. Gods grow hateful when you begin to trespass on their divine domain,
answers the woman called Teacher after a while.
I did not believe they would act so fast. I thought I had more time. I am a fool, and you will pay for my mistakes. Our dreams are our own, teacher.
One of the Hyperboreans opposes, calmly but firmly.
We would not renounce them. What happens now?
The teacher looks at the gathered giants with sadness in her large hazel eyes.
They will send the Typhon.
The Hyperboreans pale.
Is there no hope then? There is always hope,
says the teacher with a soft smile. Her eyes, though, remain sad. There is always hope, but no longer for your people. Before she is able to utter another word, the chamber trembles and a commanding female voice pierces the air.
Promethea, I thought I smelled you.
The teacher looks shocked, but quickly collects herself.
Go, run. We stand no chance here. And if you survive this night, remember, one day a twilight will come.
This is a nice tie into the story, one of the adventure hubs that I recapped, where we met Vetus of the Twilight Watch, who was talking about how the Hyperboreans had these asteremes that they were trying to use to reach the sun's domain. Here we see them talking about that exact thing where they're trying to reach into the sun's domain, these Hyperboreans, and the gods did not like that. It's also just pretty reflective of the times right before the eschaton, how the church and the sun heirs ruled, and those that did not want to follow the gods were kind of outcast and had to hide themselves. Okay, we will skip 45 because I recapped that one. Now we will go to 46.
You have heard the stories of the night nymph, so when the locals mentioned a woman of dark, you decide to investigate. Frankly, you were a bit surprised she didn't drop in with a visit. The other nymphs seemed to be drawn to the Argo, but not her. You follow her trail into a secluded valley, high in the mountains. The air is thin here, and the sky is full of stars. A Hyperborean edifice gleams in the moonlight, half buried by the black glacier that creeps over the northern ridge. As you approach, you notice the ruins of a more recent settlement, a Delphian town that hugged the Hyperborean structure like a child hugs their parent. You begin to encounter frozen bodies, people caught mid-escape from whatever calamity that ended them. Even a cursory glance tells you these mortals did not die from exposure, they were burned alive. You cross the town in silence and begin the ascent to a cracked Hyperborean dome. You are surrounded by strange bronze sculptures, indented discs, like eggshells of some gargantuan machina monster. Here, the moonlight dims as if someone covered you in a veil of dark. You're getting close. You enter the dome. Ice cracks with every step taken.
Mortals came here to revere the night, Nyx,
says the snow-white nymph coldly, seemingly dancing at the center of the cavernous space.
Stupid things. But then they came here to pretend to revere Nyx, and that was wise.
We know of you and your sisters, one of you says. I don't want to be disrespectful, but if you have some cryptic message for us, spill it out. It's freezing here.
You're growing most audacious, you know. Irreverence suits you.
The nymph turns away from you.
Long ago, the people of this town debated a world where one was free of fealty to the gods of Olympus. So they were struck down. Don't you find it funny?
Do you? Another Argonaut says with a solemn expression. We don't take pleasure in the suffering of others.
So, why are you sailing toward the past like moths to a flame? Venture into the darkness. That is where the future always is.
Utter dark engulfs the room, and when it finally dissipates, the nymph is gone. Typical.
Add the Adaton Completion Technology card, Secret Deck 7, card 81 to the projects deck. You will still need to research it, and then gain 4 Hyperborean alloy resources and gain the Night Nymph summoning card. Okay, let me grab all that. All right, let's go to this view. All right, so we need the Adaton Completion Technology. So this says the nymphs have found a new home. Leads to awakening solutions. Grand Adaton permanent summon limit of 3. That's nice. And then soul mending, lose 1 priest to make a chosen Argonaut lose the fractured affliction. Okay, well, we don't have to worry about that last part. Nobody is fractured right now. But getting to summon limit 3 is nice. So I'm going to add this to our technology deck in Scribe, or projects deck, I should say. Because we still have to research that one. And then we have the Night Nymph, which there is the artwork. And then we have the requirements say none. The summoning ability says spend a summoning charge to summon the night nymph, then activate the adversary. The effect is that we get to choose a waterway on any explored map tile leading to an unexplored tile, reveal that tile and place the night nymph token on it. When you enter that tile, discard the token, treat this as if you've just revealed it. And unless I'm mistaken, this behaves in a similar way to our recon ship. So I also think it's mistakenly listed as a battle card. Wait, am I misreading this? No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think I'll really be using this very much. Not the most useful nymph. Let's go back to the voiceover tab here. And what was that? Shoot, which number did we just read? 46, I think. So we go to 47.
You move through the ice-locked ruins in silence, not of fear, but of respect. The foreign-looking metropolis would have been a magnificent sight to behold once. Its lean, soaring towers now lie in piles, like broken fangs, and its paved streets are cracked and crooked. And then there are the giant, unnaturally tall skeletons of the Hyperborean inhabitants, broken and crushed and thrown about like discarded toys. No one left to bury them. Some of the bones are gnawed up, others ground to a fine powder and smeared on the ruined walls in crazy scribbles that send shivers down your spines. This was not a natural disaster, but a slaughter.
I have studied these ruins for many years now,
says the Cyclope scholar, Ariodana, as she leads you through the scenery of desolation, so well preserved by the encroaching black ice.
This was a place of learning, of science, of discovery.
During your stay in Delphi, you have heard whispers of the first chosen people of Helios, the Hyperboreans, and of their fall from grace and into madness. It was a cautionary tale among the Sun Heirs. Ours is the earth and toilsome devotion, and theirs is heaven and eternal praise. Bow your head, know your place.
They have mastered flight. I have no doubt about it,
says Ariodana with awe.
Their chariots must have sailed through these very skies. But it seems they wanted more. To reach the stars and the sun, to join their god.
You are immediately reminded of Icarus's plight, and how many considered it folly.
Others believed it was blasphemy to even think that. Hubris and lunacy. A fanatical opposition arose, a movement that demanded they abandon progress and return to the good old days of tilling the earth and bowing your head, of dressing modestly, of not speaking out, of worshipping the sun.
What did Helios do? Ariodana sighs.
There is evidence that Hyperborea experienced years of scorching heat and drought. A crisis always fuels the zeal of the devoted. The schism grew larger, and the reactive forces gained the upper hand. This is the point Hyperborea began to collapse, though that's just my speculation. There are few sources from that period. Still, the people here must have continued their work.
So this massacre? The Hyperboreans did it to themselves? The Cyclops stops and looks around, as if taking the grim sight in for the first time.
The believers committed many horrible crimes, but this was not one of them. This was Typhon.
For when the gods grew displeased with their children, they administered a lesson so grand and terrible, it would reverberate over countless eons. Mere death would not suffice. The destruction wrought by the Typhon was not only absolute, it was filled with rage and cruelty, scorn.
Every man, woman, and child slaughtered, or worse, tortured or eaten alive. Their lives' work not only destroyed, but buried or turned to evil purposes. Their civilization not only crushed, but erased. Their legacy vilified, all while the gods' hands were being cleaned. Some might say the primordials did us a favor,
Says Iriodana when you eventually decide to leave the Hyperborean settlement.
but death is death, regardless if it is incidental or meted with cruel intent.
You're not sure if you agree.
If in cycle 2, Cyclopes allied gain 1 Sisyphus tier. Okay. Let's see, let me check the book. Are these worded? Like, can I stack these? Oh, no, because it doesn't say or better. Oh, this is dumb. Gain 1 Sisyphus tiers if the Cyclopes are allied, but I can't gain Sisyphus tiers. So that is lame. I don't get to gain the hull. That's dumb. Otherwise, gain 2 Hyperborean alloy. I technically don't even get to gain that. Then assign the Hyperborean strain pattern card to any of your current titans. Name this titan. Okay. Let me go grab that. All right. Hyperborean strain. Back to this view. A bit of a wonky card because we have alternating between like minor, major, then grave. And it says if you have exactly 1 bleeding token, ignore the bleeding condition. Kind of useful in cycle 3. Not really going to be useful outside of this cycle. Unless you do Mnesis Theater, then it could be useful there. So to assign it to a Titan, let's assign it to let's maybe assign it to our Ascender Titan. Why not? Because we'll probably use the Ascender in at least the next not Hyper Time Oracle fight, the next Harpy fight. So scroll down, go to all patterns. Hyperborean strain. There we go. Okay. Now let's go to Inward Odyssey 48. This one says, gain the Athena god form. Next time someone is about to awaken, they have to awaken into Athena after the battle during which that happens, and only then read the story below. Okay. Grab that and put a note on it. All right, that is less fun than the one that we got for Artemis, because at least Artemis was just like, nah, if you're about to die from it, you just get to awaken instead. This one we have to actually awaken first. Let's go back to this view. Look at our Athena card here. She has a black die, movement +1. When you awaken into this god form, immediately choose either the AI or the BP deck. For the duration of this god form, keep the top card from the chosen deck revealed at all times. At the start of her turn, she gets to lose up to 2 fate. It's nice being able to awaken into her and being able to see the BP cards that you're about to be attacking, so you can understand what the reaction is going to be. Whether like you're going to have to face something incredibly annoying for your wound effect. Like, I don't know, ending up having to resolve the signature against you 3 times in a fight against the Harpy. But we'll have to come back to Inward Odyssey 48 after we resolve that awakening. Now I think we're actually caught up and we can go into our next timeline day. Anything else I needed to do? We had our retirement done. No, okay. On the next day, day 43, we will go south because it's the only direction we really can go. Also, I did double check on Discord, and I don't think there are any secret codes on any of these Cycle 3 map tiles. Oh, hey, look, this is a Twilight Watch tile. It's not actually a Sun Airs tile. That's nice. Oh, we can go west or south from here. I think we're going to end up wanting to go west or south, I'm sorry, because we need to get, is it tile 37 that we need to get to? Yes, it is 37. All right. Nothing really going on this tile though, other than that portal. And I think that's a portal to the present. And I don't even think the portals to the present actually matter at this point. I think they only really mattered for getting from the present to the past, because I don't think we can travel through those present portals. I don't have a technology that will allow us to do that. So I'm pretty sure I can actually just take apart the other map. Go south down here. Ah, I just realized I never focused my main camera back in. Give me 1 second. That should be a little bit better. Let's go ahead and do our exploration cards. 4 Hyperborean alloy resources, allied, lose 1 Argo Fate. I don't think we are allied with the Twilight Watch. I think I actually lost a diplomacy with them recently, so a couple steps away from being allied. 4 Hyperborean alloy. Also, I need to remember that I can actually exchange Living Abyss and Skin of Malice for Hyperborean alloy. From like one of the first technology cards that we got, because you had to be on story 2A to be able to do that, and I have just forgotten about that. Let's see, that ends that stack, and then next we will get tightening the loop. I don't think we have enough paradox. Haha! This ability did not trigger, then gain 1 paradox and remove this card until the next timeline battle. Okay. It is really nice to get that at this point. Also, do I have a technology to be able to stop gain or prevent paradox gain? The easiest way to check for that one is to look for my saves in the technology section. Save. We should probably go ahead and do that now. I don't mind getting up to 4 paradox. So, sorry, let me rewind. On tile 37, we're going to have to gain 2 paradox because that is part of the contract for the event that we need to change in the past for our story. And that is going to be done on a Sun Air tile. This requires us to test diplomacy. I'm very unlikely to pass a diplomacy test on a Sun Air tile. So let me do this now. Gain an Argo Fate. And test diplomacy of 7 or higher. We have +1 with the Twilight Watch, so we need a 6 or higher. That's a 3. Do I want to re-roll that? No, that's okay. I think I have other ways of getting rid of paradox. So maybe we'll be high on paradox for a little while, but oh well. All right, moving on. Let's continue that pile. Twilight Pathfinder, resolve an effect based on your diplomacy with the Twilight Watch, gain 1 frozen time. We are full up on frozen time right now, so that doesn't do anything. Then we continue that pile, gain 2 Siren Shell resources. Okay. And we don't get to do that other effect. All right, so these will get shuffled back in. Okay. Go back to our timeline step here. We will get a Dreamwalker. Titans, add new Titan. Dreamwalker. And then we get to resolve a 10,000 Nights and Days because we won our last Dahaka battle. And I am going to not be reading those 10,000 Nights and Days on this playthrough until cycle 4. I'm going to mark off that we have one done, but they don't really have the same mechanical layout as the what are they called? Dreams of Pharaohs. They're more story that's specifically about Cycle 4, so I think it'd be weird to read it now, and it could be too spoilery in my opinion. So I think throughout Cycle 4, I'll just kind of sprinkle in the ones that we've already completed. So let's go to this. Check that off. I think that might be the right number of things. But, okay. So we'll go back to Argo here. Also, I should be at 2 Argo Fate, I think, because I was supposed to gain an Argo Fate after we put the Skyseer's name on the timeline. And I think with that, we should be ready to move on to the next day, where we can go south and get our 3rd event done. Excuse me. So let's go check this off. We'll probably end up wanting to extend our loop a bit longer too, because we probably want to get near another lighthouse. Tile 37, here we go. And okay, so there is going to be a lighthouse to the side of us. We have a Doom that we're definitely going to be using Argo Fate to try to roll to prevent, and we have an Adventure Hub symbol, but otherwise nothing too crazy. Looks like a dais or monument of some sort to Helios here as well. Put that on our map. I want this one. I already did day 44. Actually, I do want this one because we're going to try to roll to save against that Doom gain. Gain another Argo Fate. And we need a 7 or higher here. Nice, that's an 8. We do not gain the Doom. Awesome. Probably would have re-rolled if we needed to. Okay, then we will do our exploration cards. Aeon, Holy Autopsy. Oh boy, Sun Airs. Oh, come on. We're going to gain another Doom. Alright, let's do it. Let's spend an Argo Fate. Try to prevent this Doom gain. Again, 7 or higher. That's a 6. Do I want to re-roll that and go up to 5 Argo Fate? Sorry, this is taking me a while because while I'm thinking about this like re-roll for Doom, I'm trying to like plan out what how we need to handle the traveling and everything in the upcoming days. I'm gonna go to the map view because one of the things that we're gonna need to get is I think the technology name is the Icebreaker Protocol, which will allow us to travel to the portals that can get us into the future. One of those portals is here. So eventually we might need to go up to that tile. I don't know. I think it's the only future portal that we've unlocked. Yeah, because I think this one... Oh, we have 3 portals from the present. Interesting. But one of the prerequisites to getting that technology is that we have to have 20 or more explored tiles in the past. And we are at 18 right now. We know there's a lighthouse here because, well, I mean, unless it's somehow like all the way over here, but it seems like the light is pretty strong here. So there's a lighthouse here. We can assume we'll be going to this tile, get to 19, but we need to get to 20. So we're gonna have to do some kind of I think I cut off there, some kind of backtracking. We can actually explore south here. There is a tile that we're missing here. So we could get here and here, but like it's annoying because even if we put our anchor on this tile, if there's a lighthouse here, like this tile is doomed, this tile is doomed. So like going onto this space, we're basically forcing ourselves to have to backtrack through a doom tile. But the alternative is that we come all the way back to here, in which case we're super close to the Dahaka, and we aren't near any other unexplored tiles. So long story short, there's just potentially a lot more doom gain in our future. I do have a technology where I can spend spend a hull or a crew to be able to lose a couple of Argo Fate. So maybe what I do is I come over here, put our anchor down on this tile, just let the time loop go. So we loop through and then go, so we travel here, and then we could use the nymph, the engine nymph, to get down here, and then we, I don't know, end up trying to come back through here and explore and go this way and hope there's like another future portal over here. I mean, maybe there's one up here, but like we just don't know. But I think maybe we do want to try to avoid this doom gain, so let's spend another Argo Fate. Dang, we're getting up so high. At least we'll lose a couple soon. We need a 7 or higher. 8! Oh my gosh, thank you. I was like, please don't make me spend another Argo Fate and then not get any kind of preventative from it, no benefit. Alright, well at least this is now we're moving until the next timeline battle as well. We're still continuing that first pile. Actually, this is not so bad. Cackle, this is not a bad time to pull this card, because we are going to go 1, 2. That comes out. We continue that first pile. Gain 1 Titan. We are not on a friendly space, so we are just going to gain a Titan. No rage gain there. Okay, continue that pile. Hey, look at that, the end of the pile. 3 Siren Shell resources. 2, 3. And next pile. Gain another Titan. Okay, we're now at 16 Titans. That's nice. And 4 Hyperborean Alloy, and we have to gain 1 danger as a group. That's not so bad. Okay. Wow, no adversary symbols other than that, other than the cackle. Let's see, who do we want to give a danger to? It doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll just assign it randomly. You know what? Actually, let's give it to let's give it to Aster. Get her a little bit close. No, well, she doesn't even have level 2 of Death Follows. All right, let's just do it randomly. Why not? All right, lowest one gets the danger. That's a 3 on green, so Otis 0 will get the danger. Then we have to do, what's it called? We have to do our adventure before we go into the advancement step. So let's do that. Let's roll for our adventure hub table. Also, let's pull up our adventures here. We have a decent chance of getting an alpha, I think. Actually, when can I access? We don't have access to the final 2 adventures yet. So actually, there's actually most likely I'm not going to be getting an alpha right now. 4 would put us at Children of the Sun, which we've already done, so we can re-roll it. Or I guess I could choose the one below. I don't know, maybe we just consider what we left behind to be like one of the hubs that we just try not to get any things for. I mean, maybe eventually we get 1 for it and just get the whatever the Nemos is for it. I'm just gonna re-roll. Since we landed on one that we already rolled or we already completed. 3, it's still one that we already completed. Boom. 7 puts us on Of Wax and Promises. I'll take that. We'll see if we can finish out that hub and prioritize that. Okay, looks like we have all these available to us now. Of Wax and Promises. What page we go into? Page 69. All right, let's roll for our adventure. That's a 10. We will get Rise and Fall, which gives us Voyage. Is that going to be something for our fated Nemos? Oh, I didn't even add our new Argonaut. Need to do that. Add, choose Argonaut. We have Aster. Where are you? Aster's here. 1 in front of her name. Create. Red. Nemos, she has... Where is it at? Death follows. And that's all she's got. Okay. So Voyage. Nothing. What the heck? Why can't we scroll to the right? There we go. Voyage. I don't see any Voyage. Voyage. I do see a Voyage. Anything for your fated Nemos? Damn, come on. So painfully slow. And then, oh, we haven't gotten a Nemos for her yet. Or Nemos node. I don't know if it matters which one of these we end up retiring off of, because both of them are kind of useless in future cycles. All right. So we'll go to our voiceover page here. Back. Adventure hubs. Wax and Promises. We said it was Rise and Fall, right? Wax and Promises. Yeah, Rise and Fall.
As soon as you arrive in the village, you can tell something is off. To your surprise, Sun Heirs and Twilight Watch alike are riled up. Not about the Titan you brought, but about a group of young people dressed in peculiar costumes. What is going on? You ask.
A stupid endeavor,
Says a Twilight Watch man.
every week they reenact the fall of Icarus. They should train and not waste their time on nonsense.
People yell at the young actors to stop, but they keep the show running. One of them climbs a tree, dressed in feathers and gold. They sway dramatically on the highest branch, while other actors with blue waves painted on their faces wait below, arms outstretched and ready to catch them. You flinch. They could easily miss. You can see bandages under the costumes, as well as fresh bruises and cuts.
Maybe you'll have better luck talking sense into them,
says the Twilight Watchman over his shoulder as he walks away with the rest of the crowd.
All right, 2 options here. While the stunts are dangerous, these people are doing nothing wrong. There's actually a strong sense of hope from the reenactment. No matter how hurt they get, they perform again and again. People need to have hope and not give up in these trying times. Let the actors perform. Sun Heirs Diplomacy -1, Delphians Diplomacy +1. Both of those are pointless to us. Not only are these people putting themselves in danger, but they are upsetting the rest of the village. And the only lesson from an endless cycle of attempt and failure is madness. Stop the actors from performing. I mean, both of these, the only result that we get is either no change or we lose a diplomacy with the Delphians. I mean, let's just let them go. It's fine. Let the actors perform. Sun Heirs Diplomacy -1, Delphians Diplomacy +1, so nothing is going to change for us. See paragraph 20.
You watch silently as the actor in the tree keeps swaying on the highest branch. You can barely see their face under all the gold paint, but they give it their all, their expression alit with emotions. Suddenly, they pretend to be blinded by the sun and let themselves fall from the branch. The actors below scramble to catch them.
Oh, shoot. Well, I'm sorry to you, Mr. and Mrs. Actor, because my Argo Fate may just be killing you or wounding you significantly, because we are indeed at 5 or more Argo Fate and we're about to gain a Doom. Let's yeah, I feel like I'm getting doomed too quickly. I have ways that I can try to get rid of Argo Fate. Let's gain an Argo Fate and let's see if we can avoid this Doom. 7 or higher. Damn, I'm not gonna re-roll that one. All right, we finally get our 7th Doom on here. Let me make a note that we need to resolve this. Doom to A. And we are at 5 or more Argo Fate, so we need to see paragraph 40.
You hear a resounding crack, followed by a yell of pain, as the feathered actor crashes to the ground. The others are all around him in a moment, crying, wailing, shaking the fallen Icarus. You unclench your jaws and offer them your help, sharing bandages and medical supplies to patch the injured actor up, all while picturing all the fractures hidden by their costume. They could have killed themselves. How could they be so ignorant? But a tiny voice in your head reminds you that you didn't do anything to stop them either.
Oh, my shattered aspirations.
The injured Icarus laments, still in character. To thank you for the supplies, one of the actors with a blue face takes you to where another big one lives. A wild titan sleeps in a typhonic cavern near the village, snoring so loudly it rattles the icy walls. Typhonic, for the monstrous beast lived there once. While the Titano-Kinigos team takes care of them, you have a long overdue talk with the actors on stunt safety.
I did not appreciate that like cracking sound at the beginning of this reading. That definitely added some life to the story. We're gonna gain a Titan. All right. Well, at least the actor didn't die. That's good. And then return to the voyage phase. All right. We're at 6 Argo Fate, 6 crew. Oh no, I guess I could lose 2 hull. Is that I have to get 3 hull or fewer? Is that right? To be able to use the engine nymph. Where is... Oh, those are battle summons. Where is my engine nymph? 3 hull or less. We haven't really been losing... It feels kind of dumb to be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to keep losing hull to be able to get to use the engine nymph, but I'd be doing it to avoid a doom. We do have our scout ship. We may end up getting it destroyed if we're putting on a tile that we're going to be at war for the faction that we're at war with. But let's send our scout ship south and just see what's on that tile to see, like, I feel like that'll help influence our decision here. Because if there's another doom symbol on that for some reason, then maybe we don't want to go that way. Tile 36. Oh, we have a future portal. Let me double check and make sure that is a future portal, because I don't want to get this wrong. Oh, I don't have that technology unlocked yet. So I'm just going to sneak another peek at the technology that we need for this one. Future portal. Yes, that is totally a future portal symbol. Okay, cool. That is good. We could even choose to use the Sweets Nymph on this tile as well if we wanted to. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, wait, no, yeah, we didn't unlock. We don't have the summon limit of 3 yet. That's just a technology that we can unlock soon. Let's put this on our thing here. We'll put our Hemiolia token on it to mark that it's not explored. Ooh, and actually we can go west from this too. Okay, so there's more exploring to do over here. So I think I'm actually happy to go here and then use the Engine Nymph to come back. All right, this is not so bad. There is a question though of maybe we don't even want to use the Engine Nymph. Yeah, maybe we don't want to use the Engine Nymph. I think we're gonna have to I don't know. It might be kind of dumb to not use the Engine Nymph. What does our Nymph charges look like right now? God Forms and Summons. Let's see. We've already used the Amalthean Nymph. Okay. Well, I think either way, if we want to use this technology that lowers our Argo Fate in exchange for Hull, I think we have to do that. I think we can only do it once per day. So let's use 1 now, just in case. So we'll lose a Hull. I'm going to lose 2 Argo Fate. Then, before I keep forgetting, let's exchange some of our Living Abyss and Skin of Malice for Hyperborean Alloy. I don't think this costs us anything, and I don't think we have to be on a city space to do this. So let's go 5, 10, 15, 20. And then let's do 25, 30. So we're going to get 30, Hyperborean Alloy. Oh shoot, what was I at? I was at 39, so we need to go to 69. What else do we need to do today? We have our loop end, we have Doom 2A. We definitely need to push off our loop end by at least 1 more day. Let's remove that note. Mark it for tomorrow. Loop end. That's going to be gaining another Doom. But we need to decrement our frozen time. Oh, also, I'm dumb. I should have done that other adventure hub to get the alpha, the Nemos for the other one, so that I can make sure I'm not retiring Death Follows. Shoot, that was a mistake. Oh, wait, also, I still need to gain 2 Paradox in order to do our final little story thing. Oh, I need to do this during the story step. Okay, so keep this off to the side here so we don't gain our Paradox just yet, technically. But I don't think there's anything else that I want to do. Yeah, all right, let's just move on. We'll go to the story step next. We will gain back our 2 Paradox. I'm not going to try to test against it because I would need a 10 to try to save and not gain that Paradox. Unlikely to happen. So let's see, when you're in tile 37 during the story step, gain 2 Paradox to convince Icarus to accept outside help. And then, I think this says that we need to see a story. As soon as you change 3 events in a single time loop, see 59. All right, go to main story 0059.
Chill winds whip at the Argo as it approaches the old Hyperborean facility from whence Icarus's sky chariot, the Aspirant, was launched. You have made the needed changes to effect Icarus's mission, and now it is time to see what fruit your actions will bear. Whether you truly could affect Daedalus's son's cruel fate, and by extension, if you had any chance of reversing the eschaton. It doesn't take long for the Argo to make landfall close to the facility. There, you find smoke rising from dozens of campfires surrounding the ancient structures. A delegation of Delphians approaches you, wary, gaunt, cold, very much on edge. There are murmurs among them, more than a few nervous glances being sent toward your titans. The looming colossi seem to trouble them greatly, inspiring a terrible fear in their ranks. Finally, one of them comes forward.
I am Krastos. I lead these people,
He states.
We do not know you, strangers. State your business.
We need access to these ruins to understand what happened here when Icarus launched the aspirant. There are snorts of derision.
His name is anathema to our people. I was but a boy when he came, and many bought into his story of the voyage to the sun, my father among them.
Krastos lowers his gaze.
The explosion of his vessel lit up the sky. Nothing was left but a flaming wreck. It fell on our polis. Many died. My own family was slain by debris.
His face twists in a scowl.
And it keeps falling. Every time our world reverts, we are brought back to that moment.
Two options. Option 1. These people are cold and scared. You do not need to add to their troubles. Perhaps an offer of some resources might make them more open to allowing you inside, albeit under scrutiny. Option 2. The people of Delphi suffered under the ravages of the time front. Perhaps you can offer these people a new home, a better one. They are certain to allow you inside the facility then. Both of these seem like reasonable things to do. Option 1 gives me diplomacy with the Twilight Watch, though, and avoids gaining 2 Argo Fate, so let's go with that one. So, diplomacy, Twilight Watch +1, Sun Heirs -1, but we're at war with them anyway, so it doesn't matter. And see paragraph 60.
I am sorry for your loss, you say, meaning every word. Krastos merely shrugs, straightening his posture a little.
We mean you no harm. After the first dozen or so times, you become numb to it,
He dismisses, before raising his head to fix you with a sharp glare.
We will allow you to enter in exchange for aid in surviving. We have need of resources, weapons, machina, whatever you can spare to ease our suffering. You will be allowed into our home, but you will be watched every step of the way.
Lose 6 Hyperborean alloy resources or 8 Siren Shell resources. I'm glad I did the Hyperborean alloy stuff because I think we'll probably just lose those. Was it 6 of these? Yeah. All right, let's do that.
You approach the facility, ignoring the suspicious, inquisitive glances of the Delphians. Icarus launched his mission in the past, in the time of the Sun Heirs, but the ripples of the disaster are felt across time. You assure the changes you've made to the timeline would suffice in correcting the course of events. Were you so gravely mistaken? Inside, you are immediately overwhelmed by a powerful sensation of stillness. A chill in the air that goes beyond the ice and snow outside. This place is old, that much is immediately evident. Far more ancient than you expected. Just how long has it been since the Hyperboreans walked these halls? As for mortals, judging from the mess, they must have abandoned it just after the failed flight. A chaos of shattered stone, protruding columns of black-veined ice,
and scattered tools and equipment fill the passages, signs of a hurried, frenzied exodus. Navigating the hallways will be a challenge, especially for your titans. At least the architecture of the giant Hyperboreans is tall enough to accommodate them without a need for stooping.
We have some tests to do. You may gain 1 fate to add +1. If you fail, either gain the Moirai Mistake Affliction or gain a Paradox. Both of those suck. For 4 tests that we have to do. Cunning or Wisdom, 8 or higher. Okay. Oh man, alright. Aster has no bonuses. +1, +1, +1. Wow. Oh, this is not looking good. Alright, well, everybody is going to be gaining +1 for this with fate. Okay. Aster will go. She will gain a fate. So she now needs to roll a 7 or higher, I think. Yeah, because it's an 8 or higher test. So 7 or higher. 6. She's going to re-roll that. Come on. 7! All right. 1 success. Next, let's go for Cersei. She will gain a fate to add 1, so she needs to roll a 6 or higher. That's an 8. Oda 0, gain a fate. Also needs to roll a 6 or higher. Oh, geez, I just dropped that. Come back here. 9. And come on. All right. Penelope is also going to gain a fate. 6 or higher. 9. Let's go. 4 successes. Oh, this is a good one to get 4 successes on, so we don't have to gain Paradox or Moirai Mistake. Okay. It is almost as if you have lived in these halls. You feel a preternatural familiarity with the ancient ruins and follow your instincts swiftly deeper and deeper into the darkness. You make swift progress towards your goal. See 65.
The halls of the ancient structure call to you. It is hard to explain, but it feels almost as if you have walked these passages before. You imagine the Hyperboreans, towering gray-skinned giants, striding about their business around you, a glimpse of the facility in its heyday. You follow the whims that arise in your heart and find your way to a central nexus of passages, a place where many routes meet. You scan your surroundings for a moment, taking note of the inscriptions on the walls around you. They tell of the hopeful mission of this facility, to reach the skies and the stars and sun above it, and of Helios's ire for such a transgression. There is talk of a sun plague and of the coming of Typhon that destroyed the facility and slaughtered its staff. Something flickers into existence, as if torn between timelines. Can you grasp it?
Gain 5 Hyperborean alloy resources. Then you may craft the arc light thrower. Oh, I think that's good. I think that's one of the weapons that comes on the what's it called? Helios Fanatics Light Weapons card. I don't know how many resources it costs on that. But I know I think it's expensive, so I don't know if this is like the same price or not. But let's go to cargo here. It says we can gain 5 Hyperborean alloy. All right, let's craft it. Let's do, so we need 6 Daedalus Machina. Let's show, why not? Let's show this. 6 Daedalus Machina. Then, oh wait, do I have enough for this? Razor Claw. Okay, I do have enough Razor Claw. 15 Hyperborean alloy. 1, 2, 3, that's 15. 10 Frozen Ambrosia. Frozen. and 7 Razor Claw. Let me go grab that card. Okay, not the gear card that I thought it was, but still interesting. Arclight Thrower, 4 dice plus 0 precision, 1 red die per hit, plus 1 power. On a full hit, you get an additional red die. It has 3 charges, range 2 to 3, fire 1, opening 3, spiral 1. It's cumbersome. You ignore the rapid adaptation trait. And to attack, you spend 1 charge and commit. The biggest thing about that is being able to ignore the rapid adaptation trait. As we get into level 4 of the Harpy, where we really don't want to be adjacent to it, this could be pretty great to have. We'll put that down here. Let me also add it to our armory. Add gear. Let's do this, and then arc light thrower added. Then we will return to our story. Okay, we don't have to worry about gear futures, so we can just continue.
As you make ready to move on, a strange light catches your gaze. Down one of the passages, an anomaly can be seen hanging in the air, suspended upon nothing. A glittering cloud of fragmented realities, shards of broken space-time gleaming with a warm light, like the gentle brilliance of a summer's dawn. Something bright lurks beyond them, alluring, tempting. Curiosity gets the better of you, and you step through. Chaos. You are immediately engulfed in a cacophony of rattling metal, hissing pipework and roaring flames. The heat is overpowering, making your lungs seize up as your skin prickles and your eyes burn. It is like you had just stepped into a furnace. The passages around you have become narrow, although tall enough for one of a giant stature to stand upright. Metal encases the walls and floor, glowing with heat as the air around you shimmers and twists. You glance up at a nearby wall, a bulkhead, and see a heavy script etched there, in Olympian. A single word, aspirant. The realization strikes you like a hammer's blow. You are on the aspirant, the vessel that Icarus used to try and ascend to the skies. The craft that was meant to carry him to the sun and break the time curse of Delphi once and for all. Judging from the chaos that surrounds you, you have stepped aboard at the very moment he is making the attempt. A glimpse of the past, then you surmise. Whether you can do anything to change the course of events remains to be seen. But you can at least use this moment, this vision, to learn more about what went wrong with the mission, what changes succeeded.
Read all of the following that apply. In order, don't worry, you will be redirected back here. All right. During one of the earlier story things, I actually went in and marked. These are the codes from the things that we were supposed to change during our previous adventures here. So I already marked those down. Let me go to choice matrix. So J3, I think, is one of the ones that we marked. Yes, J3 we marked. This is from replacing the Siren Shell Crucible with the Maze Flesh. C67.
You momentarily find yourself in the core of the vessel, where the pulsing, beating machina heart of the craft lies.
The maze stone modifications you implemented have taken hold, and the chaotic energies of the heart of the aspirant are contained. The crucible core shudders and groans loudly, sparks of white-hot power leaping from it, but every pulse of energy is caught by the fragments of Siren Shell and the shards of the Cretan labyrinth. The conflicting geometries twisting and redirecting the chaotic energies in new directions, keeping it all safely contained.
Gain 1 Argo knowledge and then return to 66. So let's mark this down for tomorrow. Let's do, is it E14 is what we have to do. Gain 1 Argo knowledge. Okay, return to 66. Then, let's see, I think N4 and F6 are the other two that we marked. Double check that. N4 and F6, yes. All right, so N4 is 68.
As you pass through the corridors of the Sky Chariot, a cadre of bronze-armored combat engineers, their heads lowered, rush past you to deal with some emergency. You recognize the Athenian armor, Simoki warriors assigned to the aspirant to aid in their mission. It seems that Icarus took your advice to heart and allowed the keen minds of the Athens and their deep pockets to aid him.
Cool. Gain 1 progress token. Let's throw that on our story cards. We're now at 9 tokens. Then return to 66. And see 69.
Time flickers around you, and you are shifted through the ship, finding yourselves in the navigation chamber, the Oracle's cradle. You see the crew member you'd assigned to aid the aspirant laying in a device oddly similar to your Balaneon. A thin layer of cloying green fluid holds him in place, while a strange helm-like device has been placed over his head. He is bellowing course corrections and barking orders without hesitation. You can feel the ship adjusting under his instructions, making swift and decisive changes moment by moment.
Subtract 2 Argo Fate. Now going down to 2 Argo Fate. Quickly lost a lot of that. Go back to 66. And then we will jump over to paragraph 73.
There is yet another flicker, and you are suddenly shunted onto the bridge of the aspirant, where, among the rising chaos, the crew fights against the inevitable. A dozen voices clamor for attention.
The crucible is holding steady for now, but I'm not sure how much more paracausal energy it can redirect. Hull plating is beginning to buckle under the pressure. We are losing atmosphere through breaches on decks Eta, Rho, and Sigma. Temperature in the outer sections is already far exceeding the limits our electrum plating can withstand. I have reports of bulkheads deforming, doors being sealed shut, and structural beams shearing under the strain.
In the center of this pandemonium, a figure stands tall. His posture one of confidence. His head held high. You almost do not recognize Icarus. So different is his stance to the meek, downtrodden figure you met previously. This, you realize, is Icarus in his element, commanding the mission, holding firm to his goal, success within reach. He exudes an air of cool calm, barking out orders to each and every crew member, even as the reports become more and more dire. As you and your comrades appear on the bridge, The towering figure turns to face you, recognition gleaming in his eyes.
Argonauts! Marvelous, is it not? My father's dream, realized at last, perfected against all odds.
You glance about, noting the concerned looks on the faces of Icarus's crew, the shuddering of the aspirant herself, and the unsteady progress it is making into the heavens. Doubt rises within you. All eyes turn aside as a man clad in what looks like a commander's uniform bursts onto the bridge, cheeks red with emotion, as he rushes toward Icarus.
Captain,
He barks.
we're losing structural integrity on the lower decks. We have to turn back.
No,
Icarus turns his golden mask toward the commander.
we cannot give up, not when we are so close.
Have you lost your mind, boy?
The older man retorts.
Look around you. We can't take much more of this. What your father asked of you, what you're asking of us, it is not possible. No mortal can reach the sun, no matter how hard you try.
I will not fail.
Icarus replies stubbornly.
We're almost there, just a little closer.
You'll kill us all, lad.
The commander sputters.
No, not this time.
The looming figure vows darkly.
This time, I'll make it. I know I will. I know it.
You hesitate, uncertain whether to intervene. Did you do enough to ensure success in this iteration? Is it even your place to interfere at this point?
We got 3 options here. Option 1, you are here for a reason. In spite of all your actions, the future you wish to avert still came to pass. If you are to understand why, you must allow this iteration to play out, and without interference, even if it means watching the ship and its crew to perish once again. Option 2, time and again this mission has failed, and each time the crew suffers horribly. This time can be different. Icarus may be fixated on achieving success, but at least you can convince him to get his crew to safety. Option 3. There is more at stake here than the fate of one ship. Reaching the sun's domain is the key to undoing the eschaton. You need Icarus to succeed, no matter the cost. Realistically, I'm tempted to go option 2 here, but I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of thinking about the metagaming aspect of it. Twilight Watch diplomacy +1, Delphian's diplomacy -1. I want to increase my Twilight Watch diplomacy, and I can take the loss in Delphian diplomacy. So I think I'm going to take that. Makes me a little suspicious that in the first option we're gaining 2 Argo Fate. It makes me feel like there's going to be some other costs in these other options. But I also don't mind not gaining Argo Fate, so we'll see what's in store for us when we pick option 3. But let me go and adjust our diplomacies here. We're going to go down in Delphian diplomacy, and we're going to go up in Twilight Watch diplomacy. Yay! Okay, let's make a note to see 0286. Let's do that. Oh, I guess we can do that today. Story 0286. Twilight Watch Allied. Nice. Okay.
We're too close now, Icarus. You urge. You need to keep going.
You're right.
The towering figure nods before turning to face his crew.
We press on. The sun is within our grasp. We need only stay the course a little longer, and the whole world is ours.
Damn it, lad.
The commander growls.
Your ambition will doom us all.
We've sacrificed too much to turn away now.
Icarus maintains firmly.
This is our imperative. Our goal is worth any price. Stick to your stations and hold the course.
The crew numbly replies, fear evident in their features. You wonder for just a moment if you are making the right choice. If pushing Icarus like this is the best option, Is this what he needs to succeed? To finally achieve his goals? Or are you doing it for your own purpose?
Gain 1 Doom. Not if I can help it. Let's gain an Argo Fate here. And try to stop this Doom gain. We need a 7 or higher. Come on. 8! Ha! Doom be gone. Doomed no longer. Doom be damned. C77.
Silence falls. The aspirant lurches sharply. There is a horrific moment of weightlessness as it twists onto its side, dropping a few hundred feet through the air, then swerving the other way, as if suddenly grasped by an unseen, immensely powerful hand. A terrible groan resounds, the shrieking of the damned, and the entire front segment of the sky chariot is torn free, bronze and iron ripping like parchment. A tempest of rushing air fills the bridge, a howling storm that deafens you. The aspirant continues forward for just a moment more, and then, slowly, inexorably loses all onwards momentum and tumbles into a steep, sharp plummet back down toward the ground far below. The last thing you see of Icarus is him being pulled from his place at the helm and cast out into empty nothingness, spiraling away from the aspirant, the tattered remains of his cloak flaring and fluttering around him like a pair of tattered, damaged wings. Pressure deafens your ears as flames swirl around the aspirant, the very air itself resisting its passage and igniting in fury. You look about, struggling to fully grasp the chaos that has engulfed you as you cling to any purchase you can find. Your eyes rove the shattered bridge and catch a glimpse of one of Icarus's crew members, the grim commander who had challenged him, pinned to a bulkhead by centrifugal force, his expression twisting and morphing painfully under the immense forces. Flames lick at his clothes, and his skin is beginning to peel and blister.
Two choices. Option 1. The ship may be lost, but you can at least save one man. Maybe you can snatch him from this moment in time and save his life. However, tampering with moments in history without thoughts can have dire consequences. Option 2. The risks of tampering are too great. You would be wise not to get involved as much as it will trouble your conscience. Okay, I'm a little torn on this one because like option 1 is clearly what we should go with to save him, but we already saved Commander. This is definitely Commander Electrion or Alectrion. I don't know how to pronounce it. We saved him in the Helionaut special event. And so there's going to be an additional cost to this of, by saving him again, we're going to gain another paradox. So we're shortening the loop by a day. I like the diplomacy options of option 1, but option 2 saves me I don't get the paradox and I don't have to shorten the loop length, and I still have M9 marked. I'm guessing that this is what this is going to be. Like, I'm fairly certain this is Commander Electrion. Actually, I just double-checked the wording of that special event. It's if we ever meet him again. So we might have to resolve that paradox regardless. All right. In the case of a tie here, I guess we'll just do the right thing and let's save him. Save the commander of the aspirant. Shorten the loop permanently by 1. Damn. This stinks, but we are shortening from a loop length of 6 to 5. Oh man, if we end up having to shorten it to 4 because of that, what's it called? That exploration card, that's really going to stink. I remember that happening in my first playthrough and it was really not fun. What was I going to next? Delphian's Diplomacy +1, Sun-Air's Diplomacy -1. We're going to see paragraph 78.
You force yourselves to move against the typhonic winds that buffet you. The heat is intense, your skin beginning to prickle and burn under the fury of the elements. 2 of you surge forward, pushing toward where the commander lies pinned. You can feel a strange resistance surround you, a crackling, tangible force that pulls you back, as if trying to drag you back into your own time. An opposition to the change in history that you are trying to make. Push on against it, fighting the pain of your own splintering soul, until at last you leap forth and grasp the commander before the flames can scorch you too badly.
2 Argonauts gain 2 danger each. Let's do... Actually, I'm not going to roll for this. Let's have Aster gain 2 danger. And let's have Cersei gain 2 danger.
You pull the commander back from the gaping maw that is now the prow of the aspirant, the open wound leading out into empty skies. You and your comrades cling to the few handholds you can find, desperately fighting the rushing winds, howling through the sundered vessel. You are not safe yet, not by any means, but you cannot leave this place until you have seen this mission through to its grim ending.
Gain 1 progress token, and then see paragraph 80. I guess we'll just put that progress on the story and make it an even 10. I still don't know what we're trying to build up to with this progress token count, but then see paragraph 80. Okay.
The ship has begun to stabilize somewhat, ceasing its crazed tumble and committing fully to the headlong plunge back toward Delphi. You feel time stutter around you, and the land changes below the aspirant. One moment, the hills and lowlands are bathed in the scorching heat of the summer's sun. The next, they are clutched by icy wastes of the Twilight era. There is another flicker, and the rolling hills are suddenly filled with a writhing mass of bodies. Rank upon rank of red and white armored warriors march across the land, spears and aspides held in their hands. The roar of battle reaches your ears as you see the Spartan invasion force swarm toward its goal. Among them, a figure you know all too well, the gargantuan shadow of the Nietzschean, spilling flame and black smoke into the air around it, towers above his troops. The Colossus faces a hyper-time oracle, the pair locked in a brutal conflict. The Nietzschean sword swings, and a glittering fractal wing peels away from the time beast. There is a shriek of pain, only matched by the roar of fury that the Nietzschean lets loose in challenge. The aspirant continues its arc over the battlefield, drawing the gaze of all present as it screams through the skies. A flaming meteor of metal and shattered hope, raining down all kinds of flaming debris on the Spartan legions. A few larger pieces of the ship tear free, plummeting down into the heart of the Nietzschean's army, and then you have passed the war zone. time flickering once again to show you a vast glacier of black-veined ice rapidly drawing closer. You tense, racing for the impact that is certain to come, but reality shifts once more. And you find yourself back in the Hyperborean facility, almost as if ejected from the moment of calamity by the sheer force of the collision. Or perhaps plucked from that instant? It is hard to tell.
Got to see our old friend the Nietzsche in there. That was fun. Didn't get a chance to wave to him, but, you know, hopefully he saw us and said, I know those people, or I will know those people. If M9 is marked C81, that is our thing from saving the commander. So yes, we see that.
The commander sags to his knees next to you, gasping for air as you all look about in disorientation. The chill of ice-encased Delphi seeps into your bodies, a shock after the raw, searing heat of the aspirant's final moments. You kneel next to the commander and place a gentle hand on his shoulder. There is little of his flesh that has not been burned horribly. He looks to you with pain-filled eyes, his gaze one of gratitude.
By the Furies,
He mutters,
that was close. Icarus. Icarus, where is he?
He seems to gain a little more awareness as he remembers the fate of the leader of the aspirant's crew. Sadness fills his eyes.
Oh, lad, you poor fool.
He still lives, you assure him. The Moirae will force him to relive the cycle until it is broken. We need to help him, to perfect the mission until it succeeds. But to do that, we need to find the remnants of the aspirant and uncover what went wrong in this iteration. Something is still keeping him from reaching the sun.
Then I will help you in any way I can.
The commander swears.
Whatever it takes.
We need to track down where the craft made landfall, you declare.
Then I will travel with you,
he swears.
Alectryon of Delphi never turns his back on someone in need, and the lad needs all the help he can get.
This decided, you gather your comrades and leave the facility, returning to the Argo with all haste. You need to find the crash site of the aspirant before the time loop resets and the cycle repeats once more.
Commander Electryon befriends the party leader. Does sound familiar? Note his name and bonus, Commander Electryon, opening 1. I don't think we've chosen the party leader yet for this. I'm very loose with how I choose the party leader. So let's just say the party leader was Aster. Because Aster is our newest Argonaut, so of course she was going to lead the party. She's the most well-equipped to do it. She doesn't have that baggage to carry around. But this is where we need to gain a paradox, I think, for meeting Electryon again. And then we will get that bonus, Commander Electryon opening 1. So we can just copy that from Thurstigard here. Yeah, let's copy it. And go back over here. And I also have to make a note of that because I can't wait to continue to forget about this bonus with a new Argonaut. Opening 1. Okay. Then flip to those Long Dead Story 2A card to side 2B. I totally misread that. To Those Yet Unborn and return to the voyage phase. Okay. And I'm just going to read this one out loud because, you know, honestly, I kind of miss reading some of the things. I like having the voiceovers, but sometimes I'm like, I like doing the reading myself. It should have worked. You did everything you agreed upon, and events, for once, did flow differently. Yet the time loop is still here. Delphi, trapped, time-locked, slowly consumed by the voracious time front. Did Icarus fail? Or have you been deceived? Was there something else at play here, hidden? Impossible to tell at this point. The last Academy is tracking the descent trajectory of a near-sun object, both through time and space. The aspirant, the sky chariot of Icarus. You need to locate it. Calculate the course of the aspirant. Collect progress. Move all progress tokens from side 2A here. When there are 9 or more progress tokens on this card, C83. Well, okay, we have 9 or more. We have 10. I just wasted that one progress token, but hey, at least it's only one. So let's go here. No, I need to click this. Nope, not that part. This part. Go to side 2B. And then let's just, let's set this for the next day. We give ourselves a day of adventuring in between. Story. Oh, is this? Did I? Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I wanted to do this for the next day, not the current day. See paragraph 83. Okay, cool. Well, at least 2B was quick. And then, yeah, return to the voyage phase. Oh, also, I don't know if the shortening the loop length is supposed to affect us immediately, but honestly, if it did, we we would actually have just... Oh, no. We're okay. No, I'm thinking of errata that had to be added to another story card. So, speaking too soon. But I'm just gonna say that the loop length doesn't affect us until the next loop. Okay, and then while we are still on this, we need to read the paragraph about the Twilight Watch being allied. Let's go back to our voiceover, and then we also need to do Doom 2A. So, main story, paragraph 0286.
As you pass through the forlorn twilight epoch, you are called to a secret outpost of the Watch, to a rally of sorts. When you arrive, through a tight passage carved out in a blackened glacier, you are taken aback by the sheer scale of the place. Ancient Hyperborean towers, crested with shining panels of crystal or glass, around a central giant spire, like a megalithic burned-out brazier, and between them a thriving mortal metropolis, Last Light.
We have never met in such numbers,
A Twilight Watch elder intones.
for pragmatism dictates we should scatter and skulk and hide from the evils of the world. So no singular death or calamity will end our mortal line. But these are not special circumstances.
She nods to you.
The time front is, in fact, contracting, and our survival is put into question. Thus, as an extraordinary exception, we need to accept the help of these starry-eyed outsiders, these Argonauts.
You're not sure if that was a compliment or an insult, but before you can comment, the elder continues.
For them to help us, we must first help them, Argonauts.
Now she speaks directly to you.
For decades, we have kept watch and scoured the land for salvage. we have recovered many wondrous items from an Aeon past, when the Hyperboreans, our progenitors, fought a losing war against religious fanaticism. Though they lost in the end and were exiled, the tools of their struggle yet remain. We have no use for them, so take them. Let your typhonic giants use them in battle against our common foe. Survive!
Survive!
A chant echoes throughout the hidden metropolis.
Gain the Apostate Armor Technology card. You do not lose this card even if for whatever reason you stop being allied with the Twilight Watch. Which is great because the gear you get from this card is excellent. The things that we can now craft, let's go to the macro view. This is the Apostate Armor. Are the Exile's Garb, is this good? Yeah, it's readable, okay. Then the Shade Shield and the Shade Armor. These are all outstanding, especially if you haven't beaten the burden yet at this point in the cycle, which I know for me, the first playthrough I did, I didn't beat the burden until like end of cycle 3. So like we've been pretty steady on the armor that we've been using just because 3 of the 4 pieces of armor we got from the gear that you get from beating the like doing the burden hardest to bear battle. But these pieces of gear do compete. And so anyway, yeah, Exile's Garb is 2 evasion rerolls plus 1 evasion bonus. It has Inspire 1, it has Tumble, it has Vault, it has Reposition 2, and it has a gated ability for being able to block 1 on a discard. So that's great. Having Inspire and Reposition like that on a piece of armor is really cool. The Inspire especially, like we already have a lot of sources of Inspire, but again, you might not have those same sources, so this could be a good thing just for the Inspire alone, but it has other great qualities too. And Reposition 2, stacking a bunch of Reposition can just be a lot of fun, where it's just like, oh, I have Reposition 2 from my Kratos table. I have like Reposition 1 or 2 from a weapon. I have Reposition 2 from my armor. Okay, I'm repositioning like 5 or 6 after attacking. That's awesome. And you combine that with Vault, like it makes for really cool positioning. The Shade Armor is doesn't go for evasion, it goes for the armor instead with 1 white armor die. And then it also has Inspire 1. It has Rock Steady, which is friggin' great. It's Rock Steady with no cost, no gated effect. It is just straight up Rock Steady. And then you can gain a fate and discard it and get Shaded, which is awesome for, especially if you're fighting like the Sun Descendant. If you just, in an emergency, you're like, I was not able to get behind some iceberg or something like that. I'm about to be hit by a sun attack. Well, you can just discard your armor, gain a fate, and now you are safe from that attack. Just phenomenally great, especially within the cycle itself. But I probably use that a fair amount even in the Menestus Theater, just for the sake of like, you have armor that just has Rock Steady without having any other prerequisites to using it. So good. And then you have the Shade Shield, which, 1 die plus 0 precision, a black and a white power die, and plus 1 power. Like, that's okay. I'm sorry. You're a shield. You have no business being that good. Like, it's not crazy good. We have a lot of weapons at this point that are better, but that's a pretty good amount of power to put behind just a shield. But then go through the traits, and it has Inspire 1, Spiral 1, Hope 2, Opening 2, Reposition 1, Succor, Laser Resistance 1. You can block with it. You can also discard it to get shaded, similar to the Shade Armor. And then at Rage 6 or higher, like this rarely comes into play, but if you attack from a shaded space, you have plus 1 power. I mean, that could come into play against a Sun Descendant. Or maybe you're on one of those VP 1 or 2 spaces and that counts as shaded. If you're at 6 or higher rage, guess what? You're getting another power. Although I guess technically you would need to be attacking with the shade shield, and you probably not going to be your primary weapon, but gives you a better chance if you have to use it in case of an emergency for attacking. Anyway, all these are great. I will have to evaluate the cost of crafting them to see how many of them we're going to craft. But like, especially if I hadn't beaten the burden already by this point, I would absolutely be crafting all these for sure. As is, I may end up just crafting like 2 of the 3 for now, maybe only 1 of the armors, but we'll see. What else do we need to do? We needed to do the Doom stuff, Doom 2A, but I need to see specifically what paragraph we need to get. Just grab this because we're going to be flipping it. When there are 7 or more Doom tokens on this card, flip the card to side 1B. Oh, whoops, I should have just flipped it immediately, I think. And I'll do the reading for this one. I like reading out loud sometimes. That's one of the things I kind of miss from doing from cycle 1, honestly, is doing the readings. Like, on the one hand, it was kind of tiring, and it took a lot out of my voice, especially because at that point I didn't have the stream deck, so like I wasn't really pausing the videos as much in between. Like, because I had the stream deck, I'm now pausing pretty frequently, but back when I was doing the cycle 1 videos, not only was I reading all of the content myself, I also was just very infrequently pausing, so it was just like non-stop talking. So I do kind of miss that. But anyway, all right. Doom 2B, Rendezvous with Death. It is a strange feeling to cross between timelines. One moment you walk among the ruins of a Spartan fortress, not strong enough, oh irony, to withstand the pitiless forces of time, of fate, of the sun that shines high above. The next you are pulled back to the times of the invasion and are besieged from all sides by the countless legions clad in red, white, and black, still fighting for their supreme leader, unable to comprehend their war was already waged and lost a long time ago. You are the only ones allowed to trespass here, and soon you will either be back or cast even further to a time when the world is as bleak and cold as the Nietzschean's heart. Is he here, you wonder? Briefly, still thinking strength was all it took. Rules. Immediately shuffle the Entropy's Embrace and Chekhov's Sun exploration cards into the exploration deck. Then, when there are 7 or more Doom tokens on this card, see paragraph 87 and set excess Doom aside. Okay. Yeah, that lead up confirms my suspicion that slight spoiler. I mean, if you're watching this, you probably don't really care that much about spoilers that are kind of like going through, but I'm going to spoil something in the next couple seconds about the end of this Doom 2B. So I'll put my hand away when I'm done talking about it. Yeah, at the end of this Doom card, when we have to resolve this is when we're going to have to fight the Nietzschean. Yeah, we have to, there's like some special things that he gets, I think. I can't remember like how he's different from his normal Nietzschean fight, but we want to win that fight because winning that fight is how you get one of the, how you get the absolute strongest weapon in the game in the first 3 cycles. We won't get to use it very long. Like, we're not really going to, Ascension rules are going to mean we can't use it for cycles 4 and 5, but it is such a, oh my gosh, it's such an amazing weapon. Anyway, all right. Okay, I'm done talking about the spoilery things for this cycle. Let's go to this view. Actually, let's go to this view. Put that card back there. And actually, I think we can get rid of these because these are for story 2A. I'm going to keep, well, actually, whatever. This is literally going to be up here for not that long. Literally not that long. But I also need to grab those exploration cards that we need to add. Give me 1 minute. Let's go back to our macro view here. Here's our 2 exploration cards. Chekhov's Son says, if you have 3 or more paradox, we're going to lose 1 frozen time in either 1 crew or 1 hull. If this and then if this ability didn't trigger, gain 1 paradox. Okay, that's really frustrating that we're going to be losing frozen time. Because especially since we shortened our loop length, we kind of need that. It looks like this card never gets permanently removed. It's just removed until the next timeline battle. If you have 4 or more paradox, then the Argonaut with 2 Nemos cards and most Nemos nodes swaps the number of Nemos nodes on his Nemoses. In the following story phase, resolve any Nemos breakthroughs caused by this effect. That is going to be interesting. I guess that would impact Otis 0, and I guess it's not considered gaining Nemoses, so I guess it could still affect him. Then we also have Entropy's Embrace. Each Argonaut gains as many fate and or danger as you have paradox, then lose 2 paradox. If you have 8 or more Argo Fate or 4 or more paradox, lose 1 hull. Wow, okay. I really need to start getting my paradox under control because I'm at 6 paradox right now. That's gonna be tough. Okay, shuffle this. Put that back. Then I think we're done for that day. Oh, I'm not even showing my adventure stuff. Right, we can move on to day 45 now. Oh my gosh, click onto this. This Stream Deck it's nice. The button quality is not my favorite. I feel like I have to, sometimes the buttons are a little bit too noisy and then get picked up, so I try to press them quietly, but then if I press them quietly, it doesn't always press them in all the way. So I don't know, maybe I just ignore the noise from it myself and just focus on pressing it correctly. Anyway, I think said that we want to go east because we probably think there's a lighthouse here. Then we can reestablish our anchor and then come back to this tile. That should give us 20 tiles explored, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Yes, and then it would just depend on when we're going to do a next structural research. Oh, we're doing it on day 46. Oh my god, is this going to work out really well? What was it called? Icebreaker Protocol. Okay, yeah, we have everything that we need. As long as we get to 20 plus explored tiles in the past. Hell yeah. All right, well, that's good. We've been gaining Doom and a lot of other things, but at least the timing of this worked out. So, can you imagine if there's not actually, I mean, it wouldn't, where else would the lighthouse be? It has to be on that tile, right? Tile 41. Okay, tile 41. Yes, it is a lighthouse here. Rejoice. It's also some black smog there. We have a lighthouse. We have a progress token. We have a Titan. I can't wait to get out of the past here and stop being on these sun air tiles. Take this and go to our map view. Travel east. Gain a progress token and a Titan. What? Why am I? It's got reset. This should be at 9. Yeah, I guess I lost the progress token there, but we're gonna put the progress token on Inwards Odyssey here, and then Titan. That's what I need to do. Gain a Titan. Also, I know I had the Dreamwalker event coming up. Did I resolve that? I did. I actually don't know if I probably did do it, but I did not put it back on the timeline here, so I think I need to put it for day 52. I've been doing this video technically over the course of like 2 days, so apologies if I'm forgetting things that happened earlier in this video. Then we can do our exploration card draws. Gain 4 Hyperborean alloy resources. It'd be nice to lose that Argo Fate right now. Cargo. 4 Hyperborean alloy. That ends that pile. And then we're going to gain 2 Daedalus Machina resources. Oh no, just 1, because we are at war. Okay. That ends those 2 piles. Oh, and then we have an adversary activation. So that is going to move the adversary south 1. Oh, we also need to reestablish our time anchor here as I am shuffling these cards. So we're about to gain an unavoidable doom. I think that's the only real negative thing from the time loop, right? We're already on the anchor point. Yep. Yep. Okay. No symbols for expedition. What about advancement? We have a combat research we can do, and then we have some stuff for the story coming up in the story step. So let's do that combat research, and I think I already know which one I want to do. Projects. Probably want to do this Fanatics Light. Ooh, how do we get Cryptex technology? We are missing the Argo knowledge. Okay, that's fine. Hypertime Oracle Autopsy. Wait, no, yeah, wait, what am I missing for that? Oh yeah, I haven't even fought Hypertime Oracle level 3 yet. That'll probably be my next timeline battle. What about this? Hypertime Oracle Autopsy. Okay. Ooh, Transient Death. Oh, that's a good one. And that's so good to have as like our backup Argo ability. I was gonna do Helios Fanatics light weapons, but we already have some really good weapons. And Transient Death is just a stupidly good Argo ability. I can't not take this. I feel, how long have I even had this available to me? I feel like I've had this available for a little while because we only needed Argoline transforming weapons. So I feel like I'm done for not having taken this already. We take Transient Death. Also, time skip. Oh man, this is okay. I might not be getting the light weapons for a little while because time skip is also incredibly good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's just take a look at this one. Transient Death. Even death may die. Argo ability, cycle 3 only, Menestus prohibited. Again, another gear/Argo ability, just another thing that cannot be used in the Menestus Theater. There are so few things that have the tag Menestus prohibited in it because the Menestus Theater is where crazy shit happens. That's where you get crazy gear cards. And this is too strong for the Menestus Theater. Lose 1 Titan from the Argo to choose a dead Titan. That Titan comes back to life at their time anchor. You may use this ability as a free action or as a reaction. Or as a thing in a window of opportunity. It's just so good. I mean, you have Titans that just randomly die. Like, this will be great to have in the Hypertime Oracle fight as well. Because it's like, you might just have a Titan that dies at the very beginning because of in media res, and this can just undo that death. Now we have 1 Argo ability and 1 piece of gear that can prevent Titans from dying. And you're starting to see, hopefully, how crazy some of this stuff can get in Cycle 3. Let's now take a look at our timeline here. We have combat research done. Loop end will resolve at the end step. I think we can... Is there anything that we wanted to do otherwise? Oh, yeah. We do still want to... I was on the fence about if I want to use the engine nymph. Like, we still have to get down to 3 Argo Fate, or not 3 Argo Fate, 3 Argo Hull before we can actually use the engine nymph. And I was on the fence if I wanted to do this still, but in order for the timing to actually work out with the structural tech, because we're going to do that structural research tomorrow, we have to get that 20th unexplored tile tomorrow. So we have to use the engine nymph to get over there. So I am going to do, what is this technology? I'm looking at it on my cards here and I already lost it. Extinction contingency. We're going to lose a hull. This makes me nervous because now we have exploration cards that are going to make us lose hull. We're going to lose 2 Argo Fate. Okay. Now we will go into our story step where let's start with the Inwards Odyssey. Let's get that one done first. Inward Odyssey, number 49.
Carnage floods the streets of the Delphian polis. The Typhon is cruel and indiscriminate, but the destruction itself methodical and thorough, guided by an uncaring, pitiless divine hand. By morning, there will be no one left alive, no building left standing. Cries of fear are drowned in the barely human wails of agony of the mauled and eaten. All resistance is crushed. No innocent is spared. All because the polis was rumored to harbor apostates who dared speak of a world without gods. As blood and fire paint the polis in crimson, making it like Tartarus itself, a group of mortals meets on the roof of a fortified keep nestled among the snowy peaks some distance away.
Now, do you see where this all leads?
A luminous, angry youth asks, looking to the monstrous wonder unfolding before his eyes.
We are just playthings to them, and nobody will hear of this crime,
a woman whispers.
They will, if we spread the word.
The man turns to the gathered.
If we plant the seeds of dissent, the oracles of old tell us, one day a twilight of the gods will come. Until then, we just need to keep watch.
With that, he turns to the silent, colossal figure at the back.
Will you help us, ancient king?
I have carried this burden far longer than you. You nod slowly. Nothing is eternal, and it starts with a turning of the Typhon. You, the 4 of you, awaken abruptly, finding yourselves in your quarters, disoriented. That dream was like a Mnemo's glimpse, but it certainly was not yours.
Gain the Chrono Ice payload card. Gain 1 Echo of Recollection and gain the Age Nymph summoning card, Secret Deck 9, card 106. Here is the Chrono Ice payload card. We have 3 abilities on here. The Stormbreaker shot says, when the time front advances, lower the advance by 1 plus roll a power die, a red power die, and add the number of power symbols. Or at least that's my interpretation of it. Oh wow, that's like impossible to read. Destroyer says, remove 1 adaptation token from the adaptation board. I remember having questions about this one. I don't remember how I would play it. I think like there's terminology about removing card or removing tokens from the adaptation board, and there's terminology about discarding them. I think, and like the difference being, in one case, should you like completely take that adaptation token and just take it off the board and it's gone for the rest of the battle, versus just taking it off of the rapid adaptation layout and it can get placed on. I think for the sake of this payload card, you just take it off of whatever slot it's on and it can be placed again. Because removing it from the battle permanently, you could basically do that twice with this. That would be crazy strong. So I don't think that was right. I think I played it, it's just gone for from one slot temporarily. And then anyway, the third ability is the Incinerator Shot, which says place 1 negative AT token in the Kratos pool. Which may sound underwhelming compared to what we've been using, but if you think that the payload card that I've been using is the one that you get from killing the Burden, I think that's where we got it from. Then it's like, well, this one's pretty good, but this does not beat the payload card that we've had for a little while now. Removing 1 adaptation token from the adaptation board can be useful, but having -1 AT for an entire round, I think, in most cases will beat it. On average, it'll be more useful for the harpy fight specifically. And then, then we need to do the Age Nymph. Here is our Age Nymph artwork. And then flip that over. And the requirement is that at least 1 Titan has died. And the effect is that during the Titan round, the chosen Titan gains a bonus turn, or when a Titan dies, place the Age Nymph token on their space or the closest legal free space. During the next Titan round, the chosen Titan may discard the Age Nymph token to reappear in its space and take their turn. At the end of that Titan round, the Titan disappears again. If they didn't reappear, discard the Age Nymph token regardless. So I don't remember using the Age Nymph all that often, and if I did, I think I would use it for the bonus turn. I think the latter effect, technically, if you kill the Primordial before the end of the Titan round, I think you don't have to lose your Titan. Anyway, we have that. Oh boy, this is going to end up being a long video. That's okay. And then lastly, let's continue in the story step. We have the main paragraph 0083 to get to. Main story.
Shivers dance along your spine as you walk across the Acropolis deck of the Argo, pulling the fur-lined cloak around your shoulders to try and shut out the icy winds that lick at your skin. You find Alcibiades talking with some of his subordinates, taking measurements with a knotted rope, and hastily sketching out some designs on a cuneiform tablet, scouring a slab of wax with a sharpened quill. He looks at you with a smile. Ah, Argonauts. Perfect timing. I have just finished the designs for the paracausal asteroscope. The what? It is a structure that will allow us to observe the temporal and spatial landscape around us. Lenses of black ice that permit us to peer through causality and see alterations made, as well as the passage of objects from one iteration of the timeline to another. You stare at him blankly. You have heard the technical speech of the philosophers before, but this feels like it is on a different level.
Mark H6. Okay. Not sure why I'm marking it. Choice matrix. I guess we'll say, where is it at? We built the, what was it called? Paracausal. I definitely spelled that wrong. Paracausal asteroscope. That's it. Okay. Wow, I butchered that spelling. Paracausal asteroscope. How long is it going to take me to type this? I'm not even going to reread it. I'm only like 60% sure I spelled it right at this point, but we're going with that. H6 is marked. Now, if M9 is marked, see paragraph 84. M9 is definitely marked.
Alectryon was kind enough to offer his expertise.
Alcibiades explains upon seeing your blank gaze.
His time with Icarus on the Aspirant gave him some knowledge of the Daedalus contraptions. With the aid of this observatory, I believe that we will be able to chart the Aspirant's course across the heavens and find exactly where and when it made landfall.
The former commander of the Aspirant steps up at this point, nodding to you.
I want to find out what happened to the ship,
He states.
I owe it to my crew and to Icarus.
You bow your head, understanding the pain you can see in his eye. He feels a measure of responsibility for what happened and wants to make things right. You cannot deny him that.
One Argonaut may reset their fate or lose any affliction. We don't have any Argonauts with afflictions, so I'm sure since I said that, we will probably get an affliction like right after this. The Argonaut with the highest fate is going to be Aster, so we can bring her back down to 0 fate, which is a nice little bonus. And then see paragraph 86.
If we find the ship, we can access its scriptos.
Alcibiades explains.
The log of logs, just like the one on the Argo. It would have a full record of what happened and what went wrong.
What do you need?
For you to lay a course to the twilight future. This is as far as the asteroscope reaches from our current position.
Alcibiades answers.
As it crashed, the chariot broke into parts and we don't know which one has the scriptos. But it doesn't matter. If we locate one, we'll locate them all.
This decided, you part ways with the master craftsman. You have much to prepare before your voyage into the future and onto the trail of the fallen aspirant.
Draw a random Story 3A clue card. This is a map that will guide you to the aspirant. Archive the To Those Yet Unborn story card. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even have this story card in our view here. Look, beautiful artwork. It's back. I do like the colors on this one. The face is very ridiculous, but archive the To Those Yet Unborn story card, then read side 3A of the Box of Black story card and return to the voyage phase. Important! To travel into the twilight epoch of the Delphi's future, you will need the Icebreaker Protocol Technology card. Thank you. I did actually remember that, so I've been planning to get that, but I appreciate the reminder. Let's pull this one off to the side here. Find the Story 3A. Jeez. What the heck? I just dropped something somewhere. I need Story 3A clue cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay. We'll shuffle them up and draw one randomly. Da, 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 da. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Chariot 2. Oh, this is okay. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll read the Story 3 card and then we'll talk about this. Let's go to the macro view because I'm going to do the reading for this one myself. Here's the card that we drew though, Chariot 2A map. This map shows the possible location of a Sun Air chariot part. So we have a map and it's kind of useless if I remember correctly. I don't know how the whispering for me is going to come through on the audio, so I'm interested to hear that back. Box of Black. Shift this up just a little bit. The chariot crash-landed in the outer reaches of Delphi, in the bleak future from which the Twilight Watch hails, the future you are trying to avert by stopping the eschaton. You've crossed the time slip several times now, Small reconnaissance missions as you look for a way to bring the Argo into the future of Delphi to look for the aspirant. Each time, dark thoughts assail you. The ice-locked wastes are still there. Icarus's mission must have failed, and you haven't changed anything after all. The primordials, too, are still here, more powerful than ever. You need to find the aspirant, the heavenly chariot, and its master and commander, Icarus. Learn what went wrong. Rules. Find any chariot piece. When this card is revealed, perform a divine surge. Yay! Oh, that means I'm going to have to do... dang, I was hoping to be able to get to reset, not have to use the engine, whatever. The engine nymph is going to have to be used in this story, I guess. I will take care, actually I'll just do it now before I forget. Do a divine surge. Let's go to God Forms and Summons, reset, summons, reset. Oh, I forgot I have two bonus charges. Boo bonus charges. Okay, that's helpful. Let's go back to this. When this card is revealed, perform a Divine Surge. Take the 3 remaining Story 3A clue cards and shuffle them to create the Chariot map deck. You need to find a chariot piece depicted on any of the maps you have acquired, including the one you already have. Chariot pieces are represented on the map on the map tiles with the Chariot A and Chariot B symbols. Note, the chariot pieces are scattered in the future, to which you can travel only if you have the Icebreaker Protocol technology card. You can collect progress tokens to gain additional chariot maps. At 2 or more, draw another card. At 5 or more, draw another card. At 9 or more, draw the last card from the chariot map deck. Finding the aspirant. If the Argo is on the same map tile as a Chariot A or Chariot B symbol during the story step, see 0108. I remember that this is a pain in the butt. It is like, I remember people talking about it being campaign ending. I don't remember how I handled this one in my first playthrough. Like, I don't know if I just got lucky and was able to do it, or if I like saw some hints on how to like approach it on Discord. But honestly, the way I'm probably going to approach this, so probably actually end the video pretty soon because the video is already getting very long here. I'm going to go back to Discord and get an idea for like remembering why this was like so obscenely difficult. I think the map cards just don't help as much as you would hope they do. But I will also look to see, like, are there house rules that people generally agreed upon for how they want to do it? Because I don't want to just leave it up to luck for this. I don't know. I have to go see and kind of remember, like, some of the reasons why Cycle, or like the Story 3A is just not liked very much. Maybe we're early enough in our timeline days that we're actually okay and we don't need to change anything. But I would like to have some information on that before I make a decision for like the recorded playthrough, because I don't want to just chance risking a campaign loss just on this. Let's go back to this view. I will put this up here. We have to fix that and make it straight. Put that here. This map of the past is going to be useless soon. Wasn't that helpful to begin with either, because I think I have the orientation and everything for it figured out, but it wasn't incredibly useful. Where did I put the rest of those chariot cards? Oh, here they are. Okay. Let's put that deck. Actually, let's do this. Flip this over, put those cards there. And let's double check our timeline here to see if we missed anything. No, because we just did the story stuff, nothing for the Doom step. We do have to do the loop end, so I'll do the loop end, and then at least that way we can say we made it into day 46 for this video. But I think after that I will end the video. So I'm going to initiate the loop end. Whoa! Whoa! Back to that spot. And then we have to gain an unavoidable doom. To be or not to be. So we went back to the past. We thought we helped Icarus to be able to change specific things, change enough to be able to hopefully make his mission to the sun's domain successful, flying in his Aster. But clearly it wasn't enough. His ship still suffered the same fate. Now we need to travel into the future and figure out what went wrong and see if we can find him and see if there is anything that we can actually change to make this successful. The next video that I do will probably be the timeline battle on day 48. Maybe I'll do the Hypertime Oracle at level 3. I think my evolution chart is up to date here. Yeah, okay, I'd have to do level 3, and then we'd be starting to face the level 4 primordials pretty soon after that. Fun times. My adversary, I think my adversary and boss counts are up to date as well. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll probably do another video on day 48 for that battle. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'm actually not sure how long this video was. Maybe it was close to 3 hours total with all the parts combined. Yeah, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. If you have any feedback, thoughts, suggestions, please let me know. Yeah. I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. I love you.